Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in lieu of our top five, what was this week going to be our top five non-ride attractions at Walt Disney World? Since I want to make sure to do that one with Anna, I'm going to change it up a little bit since it's going to be just me for the foreseeable future. So instead, this week, I decided to do a video giving with 5 tips for Disney dads with younger children specifically. So before we get into this list, make sure that if you're not subscribed to us, you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, make sure you give us a like and a comment and let us know how we're doing. Or I guess me in this case, let me know how I'm doing since nobody else is here with me, unfortunately. But let's get right on into this. So when I say 5 tips for Disney dads with younger children, I'm meaning like infant and toddler, because that's what I have experience with going to the Disney parks. So, infant to like 2-3 years old, when the child's still in diapers and still needs a lot of attention, a lot more attention than they will as they get a little bit older. So, and I'm by no means an expert on any of this. All I can do is share kind of my opinion on things from the experience that I've had so far, the things that were helpful for Anna that I did, or that I tried to do. And so that's really all that this comes from. So let's get this started. So tip number 1 is, actually, it should be a fairly obvious one, but the first tip is know your partner/spouse. And what do I mean by this? So do you know if your spouse or your partner, your significant other, do you know if they like to plan? Do they like to plan vacations and stuff like that themselves? Another way to say this, do they get mad if you plan it instead of letting them plan it? Because I've seen things like that. So just make sure you know what type of person they are. And if they are the type of person who does not like to plan, because Anna likes to plan, but she doesn't like to plan. She likes to plan, but it stresses her out. And so I'll actually kind of go into that a little bit after I talk about these other things. But if you are similar to half of what Anna is, or if your spouse is, and they don't like to plan, then just tell them, okay, great. I'm going to plan this vacation for us. I'm going to get everything set. I'm going to contact the travel agent. I'm going to do everything. Or just do it and don't even just say, hey, we're going to go on this vacation. I'm going to get it set up, and then go get everything done. They will appreciate it. Trust me. If it's somebody who likes to plan and who wants to be the one to plan it, great, awesome. Then what you do is you say, okay, when do you want to plan this? When do you want to sit down to plan this? Oh, I want to do it in like 2 weeks. Okay. Make sure that in that whatever time period, you have some free time. Make sure that to kind of get with your spouse to be like, okay, make sure that you're planning it when I'm at home, because what you should do, and what I tried to do when Anna is the one planning the trip, is I then take Aiden and I watch him for a couple hours so that she can sit down and plan the trip. It's as simple as that. Just let her do it. Or him, or whatever. And so with Anna, what I was talking about earlier, what kind of happens is, because she likes to plan, but it stresses her out, then it comes down to that I need to help her plan. I need to let her plan, but I need to be there for her every step of the way so that she can ask me, oh, should we do this? Oh, should we do this? Or things like that. Or, oh, can we skip this in order to do this? That's the kind of things that she asks me is, she'll ask me, would you rather, should we get a fast pass for Haunted Mansion, or can we skip that and instead get a fast pass for Peter Pan's Flight or something like that? Really, that's not really a thing that we usually talk about, but at least not those rides specifically. But that's the kind of thing that we talk about is, should we get this fast pass or this fast pass? Which one's going to be more important, especially in like Epcot where they have the tiers. So you have like Frozen Ever After is a tier 1 fast pass. So you can only get one tier 1 fast pass at a time. So if you get Frozen, then you can't get Soarin'. Or I think Ratatouille is going to be a tier 1 when it opens up. If you want to ride both of those, or all of those, if you want to ride Frozen and Ratatouille and Soarin', then you're going to need to plan it out. You're going to need to work that kind of thing out so that you can actually do it. So sit down and work together. Tip number 2, plan some nice dinners at table service restaurants. Now, I know that you would have a young kid. You know, for us, we have Aiden, who is at this time 1.5 years old. When we're on our next trip, he'll be 2. But even when you have the kid there, because I mean, obviously, like for us, we'll have to have the kid there still. We'll have to have him there. But even though you have the kid there, she will still appreciate the gesture of you sitting down and planning out a table service meal. Because it's a nice sit-down meal. You can go to Tokyo Dining, you can go to Teppan Edo, you can go to Nine Dragons, you can go to the Summit Hill, you can even go to the restaurant at Grand Floridian that I always forget, Victoria and Albert's. That's a really nice restaurant. Like, go for it. Make those reservations because she will appreciate it. I was actually talking to Anna about this earlier today. And she agreed with me. That's the type of thing that she appreciates because it's a nice sit-down dinner. It's something that I thought up, and she really, really appreciates it. So make sure that you plan something like that because it will be appreciated. Tip number 3, take your turn with the kids. Now, again, this one should be obvious, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because some people don't. When you get on a vacation like this, you don't always think about some of these things because you're so focused on like, oh, look at all this stuff that we can do. We can go do this, we can go do this, that you forget to go, oh, but my wife's back here with the kid and she's having a rough time. I know because that has happened to me a couple of times on our trips. I try to keep myself from doing it. It doesn't happen. It's always going to happen. You're going to forget. You're in Disney World. You're going to forget. So, one thing to keep in mind, mom is tired. If you are a mother like Anna, and you are solely breastfeeding, because Anna's solely breastfed up until she's just now started to wean Aiden off, because he's starting to not want it anymore. Breastfeeding takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of energy out of you, because you are trying to sustain this child. So, she's tired, she's exhausted. Especially if you go at when Aiden is 3 weeks old, like we did. If you go 3 weeks postpartum, it's going to be worse because there's so much stuff going on with healing and stuff like that she's going to be tired. So make sure that you take some pressure off of her. Just carry the child around for a while. If you're doing if you're baby carrying like we generally do, and you have the carriers, the ergos or whatever you happen to have, take the baby. Just put the carrier on, take the baby, say, hey, I'll carry him for a while, or her for a while. And take that pressure off of her. Give her time to rest. Something else to keep in mind is with the rides that the child can't go on, and we've mentioned this in a video before, take advantage of the rider switch. Let her go on one of these rides by herself. For our next trip, there'll be possibly a few days where we'll have Aiden's Auntie Jess with us, my friend Jess, that you've seen in videos at the beginning of the channel. And it'll be nice having Auntie Jess there because we'll get to have her take care of him because she's even told us she'll watch him for a while so that we can ride a ride together. And that's great to have. But even with that, there are going to be times where I say, no, go ahead, I will watch Aiden. Why don't you and take Anna, and I think she's planning on possibly bringing her niece with her, but you take Anna and your niece, and you guys go on the ride, and I'll go on the ride afterwards. Just, make that call, because you'll still get to go on the ride, but it's just nice to give the mom, Anna in this case, time to just ride the ride. She doesn't have to hold on to the child, just let her go and just ride. If the kid's ready for a nap, I didn't put this in my notes anywhere, but I just thought of this. If the kid's ready for a nap, volunteer to take the child for their nap. Go to the baby care center or wherever. For like Aiden, we have milk that we'll give him to take naps and stuff right now. So go warm up their milk. Go to the, in the baby care center. Go to just kind of a secluded spot in the baby care center, or just find a shaded spot. Lay them down, see if you can get them to take a nap. While they're doing that, let your spouse go off and do whatever they want. Just let them go ride a ride or two. And text them, be like, hey, the baby's waking up. Give them that opportunity to just get away from it for a while. Let them go ride a couple of rides. Let them go, shopping in the gift shops by themselves for a while without having to worry about the baby. Number 4. This is a big one, and Anna talks about this a lot with me. Offer to change the diapers, like all of the diapers. Now, what do I mean by this? Why do I say this, really? So, yes, you did hear that right. Change all of the diapers. Now, the reason for this is, and we've talked about this in a video before, is, let's face it, mom does everything. Especially moms who are breastfeeding, moms do everything. The only thing that we as dads can do is change the diaper. We can't feed them because we don't have that capacity. Mom does everything for the child. Really, all that we have as dads is, I can change the diaper and then get them dressed. And that's all we have. Because there are times that the child will not go to sleep unless they're with their mother. So you can't really do a nap time. Thankfully with Aiden, we didn't have that issue. He would go to sleep with either one of us. Thankfully. Sorry. But since moms do everything, it is nice to take that little bit of pressure off of them. Take that one thing that they don't even like doing and do it for them. Because let's face it, nobody wants to change diapers. Moms don't want to change diapers. Dads don't want to change diapers. Nobody wants to change diapers. It's gross. It smells. Nobody wants to do it. But the fact that you would then volunteer to do it, it means a lot to the mother. It means a lot to Anna when I do that. When she sniffs Aiden and says, oh, he has a poopy butt, he needs to be changed. And I go, okay, I'll go change him. She appreciates it. She loves when I do that, because then it means that she doesn't have to do it. So, also another thing, and I believe we did mention this in a video before, is that the lines are way shorter in the men's restroom. And not just in general, because yes, lines are shorter in the men's restroom in general, but I'm talking the lines for the baby changing tables. Because every single, as far as I know, as for all of the restrooms that we've been in, which was most of them, but pretty much every single men's restroom, men's and women's restroom in the Disney parks had a changing table. I found one kind of family restroom that didn't have a changing table. It was kind of an odd one. It was back in Fantasmic, like in Fantasmic. I had to change him before the show started. But thankfully we had a little thing to lay out. But there are changing tables in every single bathroom, men's and women's. And there is practically never a line in the men's restroom for the changing table. So take the kid, go and change them. Because if you say, oh no, I don't want to change them, you go change them, you are then going to be sitting there waiting for them for 30, 45 minutes sometimes, because those lines just for the changing table get crazy. So also another thing with that is take advantage of the baby care centers, because a lot of times the changing tables aren't as busy in the baby care center because there's more of them. But regardless, offer to be the one that changes those diapers. So that's number 4. Number 5, and the final tip for this video, number 5, is meet all the characters. Now, why do I say this? So, and yes, this includes even the princesses sometimes. So, with Aiden loves the characters. He loves the characters. He loves the costume characters specifically, and the ones that he recognizes. Like for this time, he'll recognize Anna and Elsa, so he'll be more okay with them. But it is, now you'll have to keep this in mind, is that some kids are terrified of the costume characters, like Mickey, Goofy, Chip and Dale, everybody. Some of them are scared of them. Some of them love them. But you should always meet as many characters as you can when you have kids like that. Now, why is that? Because, and I've put videos in it before, and maybe I'll try to put some of them in here now.
Yeah. Good, Yeah, go get him.
Of Aiden meeting some of the characters that he meets, watching their face light up when they recognize a character, or even just when they just love the characters, is one of the most amazing things you'll ever see as a dad. That look on your child's face, on your son or daughter's face, is just the best thing ever. Like watching Aiden's face when he saw Fancy Nancy on our last trip in last September. I think she was the first character we met. But seeing him, like as soon as he saw her, to see his face light up and his smile, he just got this huge smile on his face, and just, like he didn't even really know how to handle himself. He didn't want to walk up to her, even though he could. At the time, he was starting to walk, and so he could have walked up to her, but he couldn't handle himself. He didn't know what to do. He was so excited. And the same with Vampirina, Mickey and Minnie. He was super excited to see. He was super excited to see Launchpad McQuack, and he doesn't even watch DuckTales or Scrooge McDuck. And again, he doesn't watch DuckTales. It's just the best. And for kids who are scared of the characters, don't worry. Go ahead and meet the characters anyway, because the cast members are amazing. The cast members, both the ones that are the PhotoPass cast members that are taking the pictures, and the ones that are the costume characters, the cast members that are those. Sorry if that spoils anything for anybody. They are all heavily trained in how to deal with a child who is terrified to meet the characters. So it turns out really great anyway. Meet all those characters, because it creates such great memories for you, for them, even when they're not old enough to remember it. Like Aiden's not going to remember any of our last 3 trips. He's not going to remember them. But because we have those pictures, it will create so many great memories for him later. And for you. So yeah, that is my list of 5 tips for Disney dads with young kids. I will possibly do another video like this next week, since I won't have Anna with me. But yeah, that is just kind of, again, they're all kind of my opinion from my experience with Aiden and Anna. So if you take advantage of these tips, I know it'll make your life and your spouse's and child's life a lot better when you're at the parks. It really will. Trust me, I used all of these the last time I was there, and it made all of our lives just so much better. All right. So thank you all for joining me. Join me again next week when hopefully I'll have some more tips for you, or maybe I'll do something a little different. But until then, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.